All right, here we go. The wait is over, Knicks Nation. Today is the day. The gloves are coming off and all eyes are on the Alamo. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Knicks, the Spurs, the rematch for the NBA Cup, the rematch of the 1999 NBA Finals. Let's go, man. TB the franchise in the building. Joining us today, friend of the program, man. You've seen him on this show, but you've also seen him everywhere as he covers the financial markets. You might have seen him on his skateboard cruising the streets of New York City, headed from studio to studio. He is our guy, the editor-in-chief of Investopedia and diehard Knicks fan, man. Caleb Silver is joining us. We are going to give you our final thoughts and predictions on today's show, and also take a look at the NBA Finals by the numbers, because some numbers that we have for you, man, might surprise you and give you some insight into the business of basketball, man. So lock in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. The hype is real, man. It is go time. How you feeling, man?
It is business time, CP. I threw on the tie today for the first time in about 10 years. Gotten compliments on this all over the place, all over New York City. Been on New York One talking about this. Just been thinking about this. I was up since about 2:30 a.m. Just roaming the streets of Harlem. Just can't wait to get it on tonight.
Let's go. Let's go, man. I'm happy about it. I'm hype about it. We'll see each other tonight at the KFTV watch party. All roads are leading there. If you can't get to the Garden, if you can't get to the Alamo, the KFTV watch party is going to be upside down. So definitely looking forward to that. But as it relates to tonight's game, let's get into this breaking news. According to Shams Charania, Mitchell Robinson is expected to be available for the Knicks tonight in Game 1. Going into this, it wasn't clear. Mike Brown saying, even up to yesterday during media day, that he had to, again, speak with the medical staff and get clearance in regards to Mitch. But we had reported earlier when the injury first happened that it was a good sign that he was going to play based on the hand surgery, but Shams now confirming that he will expect to play tonight. Your thoughts?
Yeah, we need him. We need his offensive rebounds. We need his defensive presence. We need him to keep Wemby honest. We need those fouls, obviously. Now, we don't need the foul shooting, and hopefully they won't get into a hack of Mitch too early, but it might limit the alley-oops and those runs to the rim that he's been doing so effectively. So we'll see if that plays into it, but I will take him on the floor for offensive rebounding, defensive presence, motivation, what he does to the fans, even the fans that'll be out by the Alamo right now. We'll take Mitch at 50%.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you don't want to just rely on Karl Anthony Towns as it relates to taking on the alien and Victor Wembanyama. This is going to be an all-hands-on-deck situation. And, look, besides those two guys, the center depth is not – this isn't OKC where they can throw Chad Nyhard and Jalen Williams. No, it's really up to Cat and Mitch to try to hold it down against Alien. And then you can go OG at small ball 5, which you will see OG take on that assignment as well. And I think he will give it his best shot and be formidable. But for Mitch, as you said, the rim running ability, the ability to block shots, be a rim deterrent, the ability to get out on the perimeter if he switched out onto one of these speedy Spurs guards to make them just think a little bit before taking it inside. It's going to be interesting to see how he can handle the ball. Can he hold on to the ball? They a lot of times they have him in those dribble handoff situations. Maybe he might have to dribble. So we did see the video yesterday in practice of him dribbling and crossing over. Looked okay there. And they did show the video of him dunking the ball, but he kind of just laid it in softly. But either way, as long as it goes in, man.
Yeah, we don't need Mitch to do too much dunking. Just be the deterrent, be the offensive rebounder, especially the long offensive rebounds, because these guys are going to be jacking up threes. We know that. So long offensive rebounds, hand it right off to JB or Jose, who's whoever in the game, or move it up court and just get up there and and help out. That's what we need right now.
Yeah, as we take it back a little bit, this team's journey to this point has been nothing short of remarkable, especially given the roller coaster season that they've had. So, how did you see things playing out in the regular season, and where do you see things now with this team?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's night and day, but what a journey, what an emotional journey. We knew we had a good team. We know we had a good team last year, but was it going to be good enough? And would they ever figure out their roles and be able to sacrifice for the greater good? Well, they've showed us that in a huge way over the last few weeks. We haven't played basketball in a week and a half here, but they really showed us that they are a team. And look, we didn't need, except for to come back against the Cavs, we didn't need Jalen Brunson to have his best games. We haven't even seen actually his best game in a playoff series this year so far. We're probably going to see that over the next course of the next few games. We got that, and the team seems to be like hitting on all cylinders. The shooting's been great, the bench play's been great, and just the vibes seem really positive with this team. And for the first time in a long time, as a Knicks fan, you're not feeling like what could happen. I mean, we got Wemby obviously, but you don't feel like the team is going to let itself down.
And that's why it just feels different, man. Like there's a calm and an excitement for sure, but there's a calm in terms of they didn't just luck their way into this. Like the prognosticators want to say, oh, they didn't have a journey. We all watch this team. We know this team better than anybody. They didn't just stumble into this position. They dominated into this position. And that's why there's like a weird calm where it's like, you're not expecting them to fold right now. You're expecting them to keep this going. And I think they will, man. I have a really good feeling about this team heading into this series.
So do I. And you know that expression, act like you belong. Well, we would love to act like we belong. We just never belonged, at least not in the last 27 years or so. So we're here right now and just feeling that kind of confidence as a Knicks fan. That's very unusual and a little unsettling, but it's kind of awesome. And just feeling that vibe around New York City right now, orange and blue all over the place, all over town. I know you've been all over town. You stopped by the subway on 34th. The vibes are immaculate right now.
It's absolutely immaculate. Once we're at the watch party tonight and the game tips off, what will be your biggest concern as you're watching this game? What are you going to be thinking about as you watch this game?
Well, I'm feeling that the Spurs are going to come out and smack us in the mouth because they're hungry, they're young, they're excited to be here, they're scrappy, and they're on their home court. How do we respond? We've been responding to that first punch over the last few series, and we played some pretty good teams. A lot of people will knock the fact that we made it through a somewhat softer Eastern Conference. Forget about it. We just beat, some of the best teams in the league, and maybe we didn't have to play a couple of the ones that didn't make it through, but to make it this far right now with the type of record we're putting up and the type of point differential and the type of confidence we're playing with, we put some respect on our name. So, but I want to see how we respond. There'll be punches, and I want to see how the bench steps up. Particularly, I want to see if Deuce can have a game or two here. We could use a couple of Deuce outbursts here. 24 points and 6 3-pointers and a couple of steals. We need that type of play from the entire bench, but he could be a big difference maker here.
Yeah, I'm with you in lockstep on both of those points. The Spurs coming off of that emotional Game 7 against the Thunder, will they ride that momentum with their home crowd on top of that? NBA Finals for Wemby? What will he look like? Will it be too much jitters for him, or is he going to come out guns blazing? As you said, a young team with that energy. How will the Knicks respond to that? I looked at that Western Conference Finals matchup as a 7-game bar brawl in the way that it was so physical and defensive oriented. I wonder, once the Knicks get that initial punch, because they will, how will they respond after being off for so long? How quickly will they adjust? Because they will adjust, but it's just how quickly will they adjust to that, and will they be able to weather that early storm? I'm with you on that. I'm going to be very keen in terms of watching that. And like you said, off the bench, especially on the road, you expect the roads role players to step up, and to Keldon Johnson, to Dylan Harper is what the Knicks are going to have to be on guard for. But if we can get a nice little spark from Landry Shamet, if Brown goes to that in a 5-out spacing, maybe it's to opt out to take out Hart for a little bit to truly space him out, force Wemby to guard Karl-Anthony Towns, and put your best 3-point shooters out there, whether it's Deuce or Shamet. I think that'll give them a big lift. They're going to need a big lift from their bench, I think, in this series, but especially tonight on the road in Game 1 for sure.
Absolutely. And also the refs. You got to look at the refs because we know the Spurs are dogs on defense. They're aggressive, they're big. These young guys they're like 6'6", 6'7", and they're big, strong guys. So they're going to be knocking our guards around. They're going to be knocking Jalen Brunson around, Josh Hart. They're going to be knocking him around too. So how are we going to respond to whether the refs are calling it tight or not calling it tight? On the flip side, when we're on D here trying to deal with Wemby and trying to deal with some of these guys running off screens, how are they going to treat us and how do we respond to that? Looks like we kind of grown up a lot over the course of the playoffs and not crying so much. And Karl Towns has spent less time on the ground, even though the times he's been on the ground, mostly it's because he's been driving for a layup and making it. So I think that's a big deal too. What's the temperament going to be like?
Yeah.
But we feel like a mature team right now led by the captain.
It's going to be a Scott Foster crew in game one. I'm hoping, let's get the Tony Brothers crew out the way. Give it to us in game two. I don't want them showing up at the Garden. Give me Zach Zarber at the Garden. I can't stand Tony Brothers. Melo couldn't stand Tony Brothers. There's just something about him when he officiates the games. I'll take the extender any day. I don't really mind Scott Foster. Tony Brothers just irks me. So hopefully you get him in game two, get him out the way. But it will be Scott Foster and crew tonight. And so, as you said, the temperament. We'll see how much leeway they're going to give Towns on Wemby. How will he respond if they are calling it? Making sure him and Hart, those are two guys I want to make sure that they're dialed in and locked in and channel their energy on the court and don't let the adversity get to them. What about on the plus side? Well, you're going to say something on that note?
Yeah, and what you don't want to see is over aggressiveness on the part of a Hart or a part of Cat, where all of a sudden they have 2 fouls in the first quarter, and we've lost one of the key engines of our offense because they're playing over aggressively or not respecting the way that the refs are calling the game here. So feeling that out, especially after a week and a half against a new opponent, that's going to be something we got to get used to. But I think both teams have to get used to that.
Call us up on the KFTV Discord. Let us know your final thoughts and predictions. Ladies and gentlemen, 8:30 p.m. tip-off. The KFTV Watch Party doors will open at 7 p.m. We are sold out. We are sold out on tables. We're going to be at max capacity tonight. It is going to be rocking. So if you didn't get a ticket for tonight, make sure you get your tickets for Friday, Game 2. We will be releasing those tickets after tonight's game. CP the Franchise, Caleb Silver of Investopedia, man, the editor-in-chief of Investopedia, friend of the program, is here with us, giving you our final thoughts. Mitchell Robinson expected to play tonight. As you head into game one, as we watch this, what do you think will be the Knicks' biggest advantage heading into this game or the series?
Well, rest, but I think rest cuts both ways because we haven't been playing active basketball in a week and a half. But rest is always good for these guys. These guys are 27, 28, 29 years old, our starters. So I think that they're probably pretty grateful for the rest. So that's going to be a big factor, obviously. But we know that crowd in San Antonio is pretty raucous. That is not like going down to Philly or going over to Cleveland. We're going into the heart of Texas, and they have a really loyal fan base, and they're going to be loud. And how are we going to deal with that? But again, I like the maturity of this team. I like the temperament of this team, never too high, never too low. Even in the worst of times, we had some dark moments this season where it was very questionable about which direction we were headed, and everybody was calling for a trade. You, of course, being the captain here, reminding us just to have a little bit of take a little bit of a break here and just remember the fact this is actually a good, strong team with a leader that they believe in, and I think that we'll respond well to that. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye on that. But the hype around this has been huge, taking in so much content right now. My feed is just completely orange and blue. Everything from the AI stuff to the great content the KFTV team is putting out there. I want it all. Bring it on, and I can't wait for Slate tonight. No party like a KFTV watch.
This is the time where you love the algorithm, because it's just feeding you nothing but orange and blue, man. You can't get enough of it. This is the time where I'm locked into the Matrix, like fully loaded, man. It's incredible. I am with you in terms of the rest versus rust factor. Will the rest help them? It should, but then how rusty will they be in terms of their shots? And then, because San Antonio is the type of team, they will not let you get inside. They will not let you shoot inside. So I want to see how the Knicks respond. Can they still stay gritty if the shots aren't falling? Will they continue to attack the basket and be aggressive just to switch it up a bit? But that's where I think their defense is going to have to come out tonight and really punch San Antonio in the mouth to get those transition buckets, get Bridges involved in transition. That's better for Hart as well. That is where I want to see the Knicks really turn it up, meet the Spurs' defensive energy and intensity, because the Spurs are going to bring it.
Yeah, and what you're not going to see is players like James Harden giving up on a cut, on a pick at the top of the key and just letting somebody like Mikal slide to the rim for an easy layup or OG for a dunk. That's not happening. Or OG backing his way in and doing the reverse jam. That's not going to be allowed by the San Antonio Spurs. So what does the outside game look like? What does the inside-outside game look like? How's Carl working from the top of the key? Because we know he's been great over the past couple of months, just being a great passer and effective and seeing the floor and opening up things for everybody. And then if he's getting some room, pop that three. Pop it all night long. I'd like to see him with 5 to 6 3-point attempts at least.
Yeah, I'm certainly with you on that. King Mott on the Discord, give us your thoughts. King Mott, you're on the Discord.
Yeah, what's up, CP?
How you doing, man?
Doing great, man. I'm pumped for tonight. I'm super excited to hear about Mitch. I know it was a little down. I got some tomatoes in the chat yesterday, but I'm happy that he's giving it a go. Yep. Hopefully he can put some body on Wemby and show that effort that we're so accustomed to. I got Knicks in 5. That's my prediction. I think the Knicks come out guns blazing tonight. I think it's the opposite way. I think the Knicks are ready to take this home. I love their poise and just the way they've been handling and all their answers throughout all of these series. They're focused, and I think it shows tonight. I think they went in to this series knowing how to overcome some of the issues that showed in Game 1 against the Cavs, and I think they blitzed them tonight. That's my prediction. Go Knicks. I'm ready.
King Mott, let's go on the Discord. Shout out to King Mott. So King Mott is going Knicks in 5. Call us up on the Discord. Let us know final thoughts and predictions. Chiclet on the Discord. Chiclet, you up next.
Yeah, for my prediction, I got Knicks in 6. I don't think the Spurs are ready for this moment. Wemby said he had to remind himself they haven't climbed the mountain yet. They haven't completed their mission. So they have that very young mentality, and I think it reminds me of the 2012 Thunder, right? Where people are like, "Oh, this Thunder team they're young, they're going to win a lot of championships." They lost to the Heat, who experienced losses before, and are a veteran team. So I think that's what's going to happen to this Spurs team.
Okay, all right. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. All right. Okay, let's see who else we got here on the Okay, Hooper, we had you on here, but Hooper left. Okay. So let's take a look at this by the numbers. We always come on at these different intervals, whether it's All-Star, NBA Cup, because not only is the Larry O'Brien Trophy at stake, but there's a lot of dollars at stake for both the teams and the players as well. What do you think here?
Absolutely. I've been digging into this for the last week or so because the numbers are extraordinary, but let's just start with New York City for a second here. The mayor said that New York City is benefiting to upwards of $1 billion in revenue, extra revenue from the playoff series that we've already been through and this final series. And that's great for the restaurants, for the bars like Slate and places where Knicks fans have been gathering. Also merchandise sales, ticket sales. $1 billion is a big deal for the city. It's just a better city to live in when the Knicks are good. But let's talk about what this means to the players and the teams, because the money in there has just been growing. It's going to be a record $35.7 million playoff pool, total pool for league-funded bonuses for this whole playoff and championship series. And it all depends on where you finish in the regular season, but how far you make it through these playoffs. So the best overall regular season record, that team gets $896,000. That goes to OKC. They split that among the 15-man roster, and there's some money in there for coaches, assistants, and some of the staff there. First round appearances, that nets the team $481,000. Again, this is all split amongst the players, and the teams decide how it's split. It's not like the top players get the most. Teams actually decide internally how they're going to split it up. Conference semifinals, $585,000. Conference finals appearance, $975,000.
And this is all per team. Per team. So the further you go, the more you make. This is all incremental revenue to you. So the Knicks are already about $1.5 million deep into this bonus pool. If you make it to the finals but lose, your team gets $3.9 million to split up. If you are the NBA champion, that's $8.9 million. So just think about this for, those bench players, the Pacome Didiers, the Tyler Koleks of the world, the Mo Diowaras. They're already making, in addition to have already been paid out for the NBA Cup, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars in addition to their salary. This is a very big deal for them. The players and coaches and the staff of the Knicks gets a cut of this, and the team decides how that's allocated. And then there's more revenue for the teams themselves. So there's a lot of money on the line here. Besides the chip, the chip's the most important part, but this is also significant revenue to the players and the staff. How about the league? You know, they just inked and launched the big TV deal. We saw Amazon make its debut here in the playoffs. NBC Peacock returned, and now to this series is back to ABC, ESPN. How does the TV deal impact the teams and the league at large? Where you know, when it comes to the NBA Finals?
Well, the TV deal is one of the big reasons that these playoff pools are so high, and also why player salaries keep going up every single year. But the playoff, the recent deal that the NBA signed with Amazon and the other streamers is massive in terms of its scope and its scale. So we're talking about like something like $11 billion over the next several years. ABC obviously has the rights to this, the exclusive home for the finals through 2035 and 36 season. They're handling all the production, all the coverage. The 11-year deal, I should say, $76 billion CP. So massive deal there, and a big part of the big contributors to that: Disney, ESPN, NBC Universal. Obviously, the NBA is back on NBC. Amazon Prime is in on that. But this is about $6.9 billion per year across all those partners. So the big business of the NBA has just gotten to be massive, and that's happened, you know, first under David Stern and then under the Adam Silver regime as well.
Which is why I don't see the point where is when you talk about load management and injury management, things of that nature. Everybody says shorten the season. I don't see a pathway to shorten the season. You ink the deal with the TV partners. They're expecting the games. The money's trickling down from the NBA down to the players. So everybody is theoretically eating here and benefiting from it financially. So then, you know, how do you cut the games down? I just don't see an alternative where if you cut the games down, there's another pathway to increasing revenue.
There is no way they're cutting the amount of games down, because that is where the revenue is. It's also for the teams themselves. The ticket revenue is massive, especially in a city like New York, where tickets are out of control. But that's where they make a lot of their money. And the further you go, the more you make. Even last year, you know, the Knicks making it very deep into the playoffs, MSG Sports, which is the Knicks and the Rangers, P.S. It's at an all-time high, that stock, MSGS and MSGE, both at all-time highs given this playoff run. That company lost $22 million, a net loss of $22 million on revenue of $1 billion. So it made a lot of money, but you got to make it deep and make it all the way if you really want to make your money back and then some.
And that's the thing where, because the Knicks the final six have not been released yet. Now, there's speculation and people are talking. Are they going to, because there was an initial run for the season ticket holders. There was also a run here for the people who purchased group sales. But now the general public tickets and the Fan First program, their membership program, those tickets launch dates have been pushed back. It was supposed to be Friday. So now there's speculation that based on the demand and all the hype being generated and who they're playing potentially, that they could be holding this back to recalibrate prices. But as you just said, a lot of people will look at the Knicks and look at James Dolan, look at this immense valuation of New York, $22 million loss last year.
Yep. After you pay everybody and you pay and you turn out the lights in the garden, if you're not making super deep into the playoffs, and remember, the Rangers didn't make it that deep last year, right, at all last year. So if you don't have hockey revenue to go along with the basketball revenue, it's going to be very tough. Plus, you're paying the players more and more every year, so that goes against the amount you're making as an organization, especially as a public company. You can look into these figures and be like, that is not such a hot business. That said, the Knicks brand right now couldn't be hotter. And the valuations of the team have gone up just because it's done so well over the last few years. The Knicks were always one of the most highly valued teams in the league, but now if James Dolan decides he wants to sell, he could be looking, getting as much as 10, 11, even $12 billion for the Knicks if he chose to cash out. Now, I don't know if he's going to do that. I think he's enjoying this run right now. But you remember what I've said several times on this program? I think one of the best things that happened to the Knicks over the past decade was the Sphere, because it really diverted his attention to the Sphere. He loves music and he loves the Sphere, and that's a part of his empire there. It allowed him, to bring in Leon Rose and others to really set this team up for success.
Yeah, and every time you come on and we get into that topic of ownership, I always go back to that comment from Mark Cuban when he sold his share of the Mavs, and he talked about, hey, listen, ownership, it's not as glitzy and glamorous as you think. It's a very costly endeavor because of, once your player salaries are going up and you're maxing out these guys and you're getting up there, the luxury tax and all the tax, and then your operating costs, all of that goes up. So it becomes a very costly endeavor, which is why you saw teams like the Celtics get sold. You're like, oh man, how do you sell the Celtics? Paul Allen, the Blazers getting sold, because as Cuban said, sometimes when these teams get passed on to the heirs don't want to jump in and accrue all those expenses to run a team. It's very difficult.
It is difficult, and as an owner of the league, you're basically a governor of the team itself. You got to deal a lot with the other owners. You got to, there's a whole organization that you're effectively part of, and the commissioner and the NBA is there to make sure that the owners are taken care of. But they're sitting there running small, very large businesses that have inflating costs all the time. So what are their answers? Their answers are increased ticket revenue, to your point about season ticket sales. Create their own network so they control their broadcasts and they control their own IP. Thank you, Gotham app and MSG networks, but you've seen that in Yes and other networks, and not all of them are big enough to survive, but this one certainly is, and create all these different ways to get fans engaged in some sweepstakes or involved in the fan experience. Even tonight, the watch party at Summer Station Central Park, that is for, credit card holders, and it's invite only. So, but they're finding all these different ways to make as much money as they can, because it's not easy to turn a profit as a professional sports organization.
Yeah, which is why in the TV deal, you can kind of see why, Dolan would be agitated when you're losing home games and you're losing games to Amazon, right? What is it? The entire first round was not on MSG. So, that's another area where you're getting hit. But very interesting, man. Very interesting breaking down of the numbers. Anything else on the finals front from a numbers perspective?
Yeah, well, I mean, for the players, we don't know specific details of each player's contracts, but there are spiffs or player bonuses for making it through these rounds, or making to the all-defense or second all-defensive team for OG, or for Jalen making second-team NBA. But making it to the through the playoff series and into the finals, that could be anywhere for a star player from $250,000 to a couple of $1 million in an extra contract bonus that we might not know about. Might even be there tucked into Jalen's deal since he took the lower deal. So the star players, have these different spiffs that accrue as they go deeper and deeper into the rounds. And then being the MVP obviously has its own bonus that goes with it as well, but also the endorsements that have come with this. Now, we live in New York, in the New York area. You got nothing but Knicks advertisements right now, but you've seen that national commercial with AT&T, with Kat and Jose and Jalen.
John Starks, Ewing. My guy John Starks is in there.
John Starks, right? This is national media right now. National television. The Knicks are on, prime time in the most important games of the year, and it's been that way for the past several months. So everyone's getting fed in this deal, and I expect MSG to turn a profit, MSGS to be have a profitable 2026, just given how far this has gone. And just for those of us that want to go to the game, the prices are absolutely bananas. Just to get in the building, tickets, I looked this morning, were over $3,500. I'm sure they're over $4,000 by now. Yeah. But I don't even think that gets you up the escalators.
Yeah. It
Grab a pretzel and hang out downstairs, because you're not making
pretzel,
it up. You're not going to see the game.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, very interesting stuff. And as you said, man, the deeper they go, the more they're going to accumulate here in revenue. And as we looked at the books, they need it. so there we go. CB the Franchise, Caleb Silver here. Salute to everybody in the chat. Hit the like button and the share button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit us up on the KFTV Discord with your thoughts, man. Your thoughts on the game, your game predictions, your thoughts on the numbers behind the NBA Finals. Let's go to, is that Blaze on the Discord? Blaze, go ahead and unmute your mic. Do we have Blaze? Okay, Blaze, I saw you unmuted. Yep. Okay. All right. We'll drop Blaze. Blaze, try again. You were a little scrambled, but jump back in. JFKtheGOD. JFK, are you there?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, man. Crystal clear. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man. I'm, I usually just super chat. I finally figured out how to do the Discord thing, so yes. I know how to do it for the future.
Good stuff.
But I think I say that everybody has us as the underdog, and I think it's because they underestimate the strength of the East, but I think they overestimate the strength of the West. So we're continuously looked at as the underdog. But I think if we continue to play how we've been playing in these Eastern playoffs, we are going to. I have us in 6. I have us. I actually, like, one of my friends is like, man, I think we're gonna do it in 5, but I have us in 6. So hopefully we continue with the, as you like to say, muck it up. We can do that. If they want to muck the game up, you've seen a lot of those gritty wins that we've had, and I think that we can do that as well. If the Spurs want to get their hands dirty and they want to get it physical, they think that the Spurs are just gonna beat us up.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the case. We on the big stage. I think a lot of these people are going to get a rude awakening because they haven't been introduced to the Knicks that have matured throughout these playoffs, and I'm just kind of excited to see it, man.
Yes, sir. Knicks in 6. Let's go, man.
6,
JFKtheGOD, man. Appreciate all the support, man, and welcome back to the Discord, man. Welcome to the Discord, man.
No problem.
So much confidence with these Knicks fans, these Knicks fan TV fan, man. We are a confident bunch, but again, we don't know what it's like to feel this way. Again, we've been texting all year, CP, and I keep saying I don't know what to do with myself right now. I'm confident. Feel good.
I feel good, man. I feel good. Before we let you go, your prediction? What are you thinking, man? Knicks in?
I think it's 7. I think this is going to be a long series. I think it's going to be a dogfight. And I think that they're going to have a couple games where they're going to slap us around and shock us, especially Wemby, but the other guards too. But I also feel like this is a team led by Jalen, these Villanova guys, and all the heart that you see across the roster and in the coaching staff that will not let itself lose. So I got faith. I think Knicks in 7, and I'm willing to wait it all out and be with you every step of the way, and the Knicks Fan TV family. So number one show for the fans, by the fans. I will see you at Slate tonight. Let's go, Knicks.
Absolutely.
Let's get it on.
Which NBC are you? You're in the NBC studios right now. Which platform are you going to be on?
Sitting here at 30 Rock, about to jump on NBC News now at about 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time. 4th or 5th television hit of the day, but nothing more important than the one I just did with you, hanging out with you.
Let's go,
the Knicks Fan TV family, man. That's family, and we've been through a lot as Knicks fans, but I think this is our time. So let's do this.
Caleb Silver in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Follow him on Instagram at Caleb Silver, the editor-in-chief of Investopedia, man. You can catch him skating somewhere throughout the New York City metro area on the longboard, man. That's how he keeps it. That's how he rolls, literally. But yeah, man, check him out absolutely for all your financial education, man, your investment education. My man's Caleb Silver, man. Thank you, bro. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you. See you at Slate.
All right. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Like, share, subscribe. Salute to my guy, Caleb Silver, in the building. We ready to go. I like when Caleb comes on because, we like to switch it up. Obviously, we always talk about the game, and he can talk about the game as well as anybody. But then, he brings the numbers. He crunches the numbers and gives it to us, man. So, as I said, for all your financial literacy needs, make sure you check him out at Caleb Silver. Check them out at Investopedia. And he does a great job. For those of you that watch Earn Your Leisure, he's on with our guys at Earn Your Leisure as well. So he does a great job, man. He does a great job. But how about that tidbit, man? Very surprising. I had heard that as well, man. $22 million that MSG had lost last year. You look at it, you're like, oh, man, this is a crazy, valuable company, blah, blah, blah. But when you got to pay people, and the money's got to equal, you got to turn a profit. So when the tickets for game 3 come out and, you're paying $5,000 to bring your binoculars to the game, you got to kind of understand it, right? It's like, where the point of a business is to turn a profit. If not, then it's a charity. So it's just a cost of doing business, man. Where's everybody from in the chat? Throw your countries, throw your cities, throw your state in the chat where you guys are checking in from. We'll shout you guys out. Got to recoup, man. You just got to recoup. Shout out to Eric L. Beats. You got to recoup, man. So there it is. All right, who else we got here? Anybody else? Do we have Blaze? Did we get to you yet, Blaze? Blaze on the Discord going once?
Yo.
Yo.
Yo, what's good, CP?
How you doing, man?
Doing good. I'm on my hashtag grind right now.
Let's go.
On my Amazon route.
Let's go,
You
man.
know,
Shout out to all
in.
our drivers out there. Absolutely.
Of course, man. You know, I gotta find a way to pass the time till game one.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
It's felt like such a long wait. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to get started. Like, just fast forward to tip off for me. You know?
For sure, man. Yeah. What do you think about the game, man? Game predictions. Hello.
Ooh.
Oh,
I feel crazy. It's like I've never been so confident in a Knicks team before.
yeah.
Like it feels underdogs. Still.
All right.
We're in Vegas.
I
but,
got it.
I wrote.
Okay,
I
got
think
you now.
Knicks in 5 personally.
Knicks in 5. Okay. All right, cool. I'm gonna drop you off because you're a
Yeah.
little bit scrambled, man.
Sorry, my
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get the people to packages.
my
man.
route's kind of in a weird area.
Yeah, I think that the scanner might be scrambling the signals, man. So we're gonna let you scan the packages. Appreciate all that you do, and we'll talk to you later, man.
No worries, bro.
Salute, man.
You have a great day.
You too, man. Shout out to Blaze on the Discord, man. Absolutely, yo. Listen, I told you, man. I was a former driver myself, so I always got I got to shout out my drivers. Shout out to the MTA drivers. Shout out to the Uber drivers out there, the taxi drivers, the dollar van drivers, man. If there's any dollar vans that still exist, I don't know. You know, times are changing. If you guys still driving the dollar vans out there, shout out to my dollar van drivers, of course. And my CDL gang, wherever you guys at in the country. Because as you said, you know, when you're working, especially for the drivers, when you're working, you know, you're doing your driving and stuff like that, especially if you don't have nobody in the car, it could be a little lonely, man. It's just you and your thoughts. So that's why when I used to be a driver, like sports radio and all that, that used to get me through the day. That used to get you by. That's why, man. I always make sure we take care of our drivers, you know? All right, let me get to a couple more, and then we're going to wrap rapid fire. Jayden R, go ahead and unmute your mic. Do we have Jayden?
Yo.
Yo, how are you, man?
Dude, longest day of work of my life, man.
Nice.
I can't wait to get home and for the game to get started, you know. But
Yeah,
like,
for
I
sure.
can't believe it's until 8:30. It's crazy.
Yeah, you know, it's finals. They try to find, like, that sweet spot for everybody. It is what it is.
Yeah, I feel you. But
Yeah.
let's go, man. Knicks in 5. I'm standing 10 toes down.
Let's go.
We're going to win it all. This is our year. And
Let's
I saw
go.
a crazy stat that I think the last 6 teams that eliminated the finals team from the championship from the previous year did not win the championship. So
Okay.
hopefully that lines up. There's all these crazy stats that are coming out that are like
Yeah.
pointing the Knicks to win, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, they got to earn it, man. They got to earn it. But,
Yeah, of course.
you know, I think Cap is ready. I think he is ready.
Yeah, I hope so. You see Cap's press conference yesterday? He kind of sounded sick. He was sniffling and his voice was all breaking up.
Oh,
and
maybe.
Stuff, so I hope that doesn't affect him, but we'll see.
Yeah, he might be.
All right, well, that's all I got to say, man. Have a good day. Let's
All
go,
right, man.
Knicks.
Take care, man.
All right, see you.
Yes, sir. Jayden R on the Discord. SheemR. Sheem, how you doing?
How's it going, man? Can you hear me?
Good. Yep. Rapid fire. What's your prediction for tonight?
Got you, man. Yeah, man. I think Knicks in 6, man. You know, I think we've been seeing, you know, amazing basketball for the past 11 games, right? Blowing teams up by 30. Just defense is crazy, all that stuff. I think we can do it in 6, man. You know, I'm loving the vibes of the city right now. Last year, I was at Slate when we beat Boston. The vibes in there was great, so I'm gonna try to flip to Slate one of these games.
Okay.
For sure. But I just have a quick question, if you don't mind. I'm a little curious about how you feel about the defensive matches for us. I guess how do you see that panning out? And thank you again for taking my call.
For sure. Well, you know, obviously it starts with Wemby, man. That's going to be a tall order. You know, I saw somebody on IG kind of like discrediting him, like he's not dominant like Shaq. Well, sir, like he's 7'4" with crazy wingspan and can shoot from the logo. So, I mean, he might not be as physically, you know, imposing as Shaq, but in his size and wingspan, he certainly is. It's a hard guard, not to mention he is playing very physical. So, first and foremost, it's going to take Karl Anthony Towns, OG, Mitch, to stay in front of him, and then you're going to have to come down on the ball. You're going to have to help. So at times, yeah, they're going to have to cheat off the corners. You might have to risk leaving Champagnie, leaving Vassell and one of those guys open because you might have to send some attention and force Wemby into making mistakes. Secondly, you got to keep their guards from getting from out of that paint. You know, the Vassells, the Foxes, the Castles. That's where they do their best work. Dylan Harper, that's where they do their best work. They have speed, they have athleticism, and they have a relentless downhill attack. So Wingstop is going to be very key here. McCall, OG, Josh Hart, those guys are going to have to be key. But nevertheless, if they can get the Spurs into that turnover game, especially Castle, speed him up a little bit. He's only in his second year. He's still prone to mistakes. Speed him up, get those turnovers, and get out in transition if you can. You're going to have to find easy ways to score because tonight, are they going to be rusty, right? As we said, Wemby and those guys, they're not going to let you inside the paint. So they're going to have to find other ways to score using their defense. The Knicks' defense needs to be aggressive. That's what I liked in their game against Cleveland. Despite the fact that, in the second half, Cleveland was able to run it up. I thought the Knicks started the game off, especially when Mitch got in, their defense really tightened up. So they're going to have to lean on that in the event that the shots aren't falling. And also when Wemby hits the bench. The Spurs are a considerably weaker team when Wemby hits the bench, so they're going to have to look for ways to force turnovers, but also end those possessions with the rebounds. That's why Mitch is so important. End possessions, defensive rebounds. That's a defense. That's a stop. Don't allow any second chance opportunities. That's one thing with their guards. They are dogs. Keldon Johnson, he's a dog. They are relentless. Knicks are going to have to box out. Don't fall asleep at the wheel. This is the NBA Finals now. It is a by any means necessary series. Can't afford to lose possessions. We haven't heard from him in a while. Let's go to him. Rambo from Tampa. Talk to us, man.
The prodigal son has returned.
Let's go.
And I am ready. I am so hyped, CP. I've been trying to hold it together. Actually, man, I've been scared. I've been shy to call in, man. I really didn't want to bother you guys, man. We've been rolling. Everything's been good, man. First off, CP, I know I'm way overdue. But I was talking to the wife the other day, and I told her, CP got married, man. We had to, big congratulations, bro.
Appreciate you, bro.
That is huge in our books, man. We love that over here. Back to the regular service program, baby.
Yeah.
Knicks. Let me tell you something about these Knicks, man. I've been so hyped about these Knicks for years, and I've been just telling everybody the same exact thing, which is, I don't care who we play, when we play them. Our A game beats everybody else's A game.
Yeah.
And what these boys are out here doing, man, oh my God, this shit is beautiful. Excuse my language.
It's all right, man. You're right, man. It's okay, man.
My bad. I'm getting too hyped, man. I'm getting too hyped. You know what? But man, I just had to tap in real quick, man. I heard my Amazon dude, man. Shout out to the UPS drivers. Shout out to all the delivery drivers. I've been, you know what I'm saying? It's been good out here, man.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, man. And CP, real talk, this whole playoffs, man, it's been so up and down for me, honestly. I've been sitting there watching the games with my son. He's a valid fan now. He's a valid fan.
Good.
Next generation. And he had to teach me. After every game, I'm sitting there like, no, don't say nothing. This man is showing me that this new generation, we different. They all the way out the window. They shutting it down the second quarter. So with that being said, I'm going to hop on the boat, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to let y'all know right now, the Knicks are sweeping it. I know my guy.
Okay.
We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, out the door. We're coming home. We sweeping them. Love you, Wemby. I'm not underestimating you. I'm just that confident in the guys that I have on the court. Wemby's a generational talent. I like Stephen Castle. I like Vassell. I like everything they got going on over there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Rambo from Tampa. Rate that call in the chat, man. Let's go, man. Good to hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna be back.
Let's go. Good to hear from you, man. Rambo from Tampa. Stay up, man. Stay up. Come on, man. Shout out to Rambo. So Rambo's going Knicks in 4. Okay. All right. Shout out to Gary Reichert. $20 super chat. Says, I think the start to this game is key. No rust. We can't be slow to start. I think we come out firing on all cylinders and get these Spurs on their heels. We got this, Knicks family. Let's go. $10 super chat. Izzy FC says, see you tonight at the watch party. Knicks in 6. I'll be in Chicago this weekend for Pokemon Go Fest starting this Friday, but I'll take my Knicks colors with me for game 2. Salute, man. What do they do at Pokemon Go Fest? Like, are you actually catching, are you going through the city catching the Pokemon? Okay. All right, man. Well, we wish you luck on your venture, on your journey, man. Aggravated man, $5 super chat says, only the third time since 21 that we start a series on the road. Cavs 23, Boston 25. We won both of those. We are at our best as underdogs. Yeah, I like the naysayers. That's how I like to be, under the radar. My favorite championship seasons has come when the team is under the radar. Yankees in 96 versus the Braves. Giants in 07 against the Pats. Giants in 2011 against the Pats. I like being under the radar and shocking the world. Shock the system. That's how I like my teams. Okay, Perk, $5 super chat. Pace, turnovers, and make Wemby run are the keys for me. Let's go execute. Zay from Ellen, let's go, Zay. Rapid fire predictions, man. Knicks in?
Six.
Okay.
Six. Matter of fact, 5. I'm going bold. I'm going to say 5. And the reason why I say 5 is because I had a random person I used to work with like years ago hit me in the DMs like, hey, I used to work with you, and I know you're a Knicks fan, and Spurs in 5. Nah, let's fix it, right? Knicks in 5. Okay. I don't know where these people coming from now wanting to be Spurs fans. I've never seen it before in my life, but all of a sudden now the Spurs fans is coming out the woodworks. Knicks in 5. Watch y'all mouth when y'all talk about the Knicks. If y'all ain't talking about rings, now I don't know what y'all talking about. At the end of the day, we gonna win it all. All right.
Yeah.
We gonna win it, and we gonna keep it moving. Cap gonna get MVP, and then all of the naysayers about too short, this, that, and the third, all of that's gonna go away. At the end of the day, the Spurs just got here. We've been here. We've been working to get here. All right. So watch y'all mouths when y'all talk about the Knicks, because the Knicks gonna get it in 5, maybe 6. Depends on what it is. But just shout that out, man. Y'all have a good one, but easy. It's a breeze.
Appreciate you. Zay from Maryland said it's a breeze. Shout out my guy Ian Begler. I told you he's out in the Alamo doing good work. He's got a soundbite from Tim Legler. Let's hear what Legs has to say about this series. Let's hear it. Here we go.
Rare you're ever going to see 5 starters in this kind of rhythm at the same time on both ends of the floor, the way that the Knicks are right now. So the Spurs are going to get the best version of this group, probably the best version of anything we've seen since Jalen Brunson came to New York.
Yes.
They're playing their best. They figured out the chemistry. The balance is there. The defense is matching the offense. You can't be in a better place if you're the Knicks. And obviously for the Spurs, you just vanquished the Thunder, the defending champ. Feeling pretty good about yourself as well. And they're playing at an elite level on both ends too. So that's why this matchup is so, I think, fascinating to everybody. 2 teams, great storylines, star power that you could ask for. But I think most importantly, both teams able to beat you in multiple ways on both ends of the floor. Rare you're ever going to see 5.
Well said. Well said by Tim Legler, man. He'll be on the call tonight with our guy Mike Breen, as well as Richard Jefferson. Man, let me tell y'all something right now. Shout out to the Knicks, first and foremost, for creating this hype video. And I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but ladies and gentlemen, I have watched this probably about 30 times since last night. I kid you not. I can't get enough. I can't get enough. This has gotten me hyped. Y'all ask me if I'm out the window, and I've been a little tepid. I've been in and out. I've been playing double dutch with it. I'm gonna let y'all see this if y'all haven't seen it, man. Here we go.
Believe in Knicks fans for the first time in 27 years. The New York Knicks are going to the NBA Finals.
I know what the finals in New York should look like. Orange and blue, everywhere you look. Everyone looking fly in their game day best, of course. But it's also how the city starts to look at the game. That look in our eyes, staring adversity in the face. And the face we make when we look up and know what time it is.
Three-pointer, puts it in! The Brunson burner has been lit. Captain Clutch has come along to the hole. And the Knicks are flying high. Shot clock at 1. Bridges puts up the 3. Puts it in! It's a Knicks avalanche from downtown.
It's how we look at each other.
Every single one of the guys on the team has sacrificed. Every single one of the guys on the team has a competitive spirit. Every single one of the guys on the team is connected. Every single one of the guys believe in each other in the process.
Shaman puts it up, pumps it in. Bedlam here at Madison Square Garden.
My goodness, ladies and gentlemen, I couldn't stop watching. I'm gonna watch a little bit more on the way to the watch party. I'm calling Slate right now to tell him to play this during the watch party. I mean, it's just something. First of all, Clyde, y'all know, man. Clyde means so much to me, man. So much to us. So much to the organization. I watched this video. I couldn't go to sleep. I watched this video about 10 times to go to sleep, and I got emotional every time. Let's go. 8:30, lock in. Take the diapers off. Let's go, New York. I gotta chill because last time all my lights went out. I crashed out heavy. But I'm ready. Let's go. Wall-to-wall coverage here. The #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Play-by-play by CK2K. We're gonna be at Slate for the watch party. Post-game live with CK, Alex, JD, myself. The whole squad is in the building. If you're coming to Slate, pre-game show with JD and myself. Special guest, the Knicks chick, Ben Lyons. We pulling up tonight, man. Wall-to-wall coverage. Knicks Nation, let's go, man. Finish up work. Matter of fact, leave work early if you have to. The boss will understand. It's go time, New York. NBA Finals, Game 1. Let's go. Lock in. #1 show for the fans, by the fans. Salute you guys. Thank you all for being here today. And we'll see you guys tonight. I got to save some energy. I'm all over the place. I am out the window officially. Let's go.